Ladies and gentlemen, may I call the House to attention as His Royal Highness have a chance to speak to us. His Royal Highness will talk about the vision of the chiefdoms, where they're going, and you also talk about the governance, how chiefdoms are structured. As you discover in Zambia, there's so many provinces and districts and tribes. So each one of these, they have got their own tradition, but there's a common thread through. His Royal Highness is the chief in the Northwestern Province, Mwinilunga District, and is also the current vice chairperson for the House of Chiefs. In Zambia, every 3 years, they select chiefs who can be representing the views of the chiefs in the country. And we have a privilege that His Royal Highness has had the privilege to be the chairperson for the House of Chiefs before. I think if you have the post for 2 years, for 2 consecutive terms, you are asked to rest before you take up any other position. And I think he rested enough. Now this second round, he was already in as vice chairperson. And the chairperson is Chiefess Commercial, whom we met that time before she came into office. The vice chairperson is His Royal Highness Chief NTAMBU from Mwinilunga District. So here is representing the House of Chiefs in the absence of a chairperson of the House of Chiefs. So the views that he's going to give forward will represent such a house. So your Royal Highness Chief NTAMBU.
Thank you very much. I want to say that I'm most delighted, ladies and gentlemen, to interact with you. Start with the views of our government and the vision of our government. When our current government came into power, it looked at the development strategy for the country. It decided that for the country to go forward, the rural areas and the urban areas must both be incorporated into development plans. And who are the best people to carry out the function of developing the rural areas? Because the rural areas are under the custodianship of the chiefs. They are the chief executive officers of the chiefdoms. So all developmental matters fall under the chiefs. So it decided that the chiefs must be in the forefront in championing the development of their chiefdoms. When the House of Chiefs was officially being opened, the Honorable Minister challenged us to say we must make a change in the rural areas. And we took up the challenge very seriously. What we did was to form up some sort of an association of all the chiefs, representing all the chiefdoms in Zambia. We have formed an association called Save Rural Africa Foundation. We're in touch with our colleagues in other countries, Southern African countries like Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. What we are saying is that for chiefdoms to be viable, there should be a vehicle where the development has got to go through. So we are encouraging all the chiefdoms in Zambia to form trusts as limited companies. We are saying because all the natural resources are in the rural areas. When the trusts are formed in these chiefdoms, then the chiefdoms will look for investors. When the investors come into the chiefdoms, whether it be mining, Zambia is endowed with a lot of minerals, whether it's mining, farming, or any venture of their own interest. They will come and find that chiefdoms have already got these companies, trusts. And they want to go through the process of acquiring land or things like that. It is laborious at times. The chiefdoms will say, we have got our natural resources, we have got our land ready. All we need from you is your expertise, your machinery, and your funds. Then we meet halfway as partners. They will sit down, negotiate on the terms. Then, if the venture is viable, you'll go ahead to those partnerships. At the end of the day, when it comes to dividing the spoils, the investor will have his share, the chiefdoms will have their share also. Everybody's happy. It's a win-win situation. Yes, this is the vision of the country. So as chiefs, we are taking up the matter very seriously. We have already made a start. Some of the chiefdoms have already acquired mining rights, and they have started talking to would-be investors in mining. Not only in mining, but agriculture as well. I remember there is a chiefdom in Mbala or somewhere there. They have already partnered with some Chinese company in agriculture. So we feel this is one way of developing rural areas. Instead of looking to government for everything, the government hasn't got the resources to go around the country. So this is one way of helping the government develop the country. And through that way, we feel that the country can develop faster than solely depending on the government resources. We think that government resources can supplement what is already in the chiefdoms. This is our vision. Unfortunately, we have got a recent government, and the government is encouraging that approach through our Ministry of Chiefs and Traditional Affairs, where she's the director. She's one of the catalysts actually moving the program. We are very fortunate to have people that have got a sympathy for the rural areas. It's not, it's very rare to find urban people having the interest of the rural areas. They would rather scorn at the rural people, say there is nothing, they have nothing to offer. They are ignorant people, why bother about them? But now there is a team of people that have a heart for the rural areas. And we as chiefs, traditional leaders in those areas have teamed up. We want to give support to our government, and don't want to disappoint here. I think this is the vision that we have. In my chiefdom, for instance, we have started the ball rolling. We have also applied for mining rights. We have already formed a trust. And one of the projects that we wish to undertake is construction of a hydropower project. And by next year, this project will take off. This year's program is to look for a contractor, official contractor, and purchase equipment so that come next year, construction of the hydro power station starts. We want, when we have power, we want to attract investment where people be comfortable and make use of the energy. We want the surplus of our energy, because it will be beyond our consumption capacity. We want the surplus also to be sold to our national grid, where an income will be coming from. We also have identified another area of business. Our area is endowed with a lot of forests. This is one area in Zambia or in Africa where there are what they call green dry forests, very thick forests under tropical conditions. And one product you can easily get from it is the honey. We have talked with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, with the view of going into this venture, especially honey, and then selling it locally and abroad. They have come in halfway. They have offered us some grant to make a start by acquiring modern beehives and construction of a factory and other equipment. But we feel this is not enough. We need more funding to make this a real business venture. We have talked to some Americans, invited some Americans. They came to NTAMBU We had discussions with them with a view to procuring a market for the product once we start producing. I must say, we had very fruitful discussions, and they are ready to start buying the honey once production resumes. I think this is all that we are trying to do. But we also have some future plans for venturing into other activities like farming activities. Our land is blessed with a lot of water. Big rivers, perennial rivers, very suitable for large-scale irrigation systems. For instance, for sugar production, rice production at larger scale. We have been growing rice for some time now, since the colonial days, 1950s. And there is some sort of expertise in rice growing at the lower level.